Hello and welcome. This is section 8.6 and we're going to do some examples where we solve radical equations. Alright, so let's look at the first example. So basically what we want to do in any kind of equations, we're going to have some sort of radical of some expression. We want to isolate this. We want to get the radical by itself equals a number. Alright, or n variables. Okay, it doesn't have to be just a number, but you want to isolate that radical. And then we're going to square both sides. And radicals squared, they cancel each other out, so that gets rid of the radical. And then you solve from here. Alright? And you're going to get some sort of solution. Now at the end, when you get solution, it's required to check. Okay, so you're required to check the solution. In the original equation. Okay, at least in one of the equations that still has the radical in it. What happens when you square both sides? Squaring gets rid of a negative sign sometimes. So if you're squaring something negative, it becomes positive. So that's not always correct. So this method right here of squaring both sides kind of works, but sometimes it doesn't. So at the end, you basically need to make sure that it's working. Okay, so if you square both sides and you solve and you get an answer, you need to make sure that it's actually true. So you have to go back to your original equations or one of your in the first steps of the solution where there's still a radical in there, and then plug it in to see if it works. If it does, great. If it doesn't, then that solution is actually not a solution. Alright, so let's look at this first problem. So we have square root of 5n minus 4 minus 9 is 0. We want to isolate the radical, so add 9 to both sides. So we get square root of 5n minus 4 equals 9. Alright, now we're going to square both sides. So the radical and the square are opposites of each other, they cancel out. We get 5n minus 4 equals 9 squared, which is 81. Alright, now we solve. So we have 5n equals 85 divided by 5, which means n equals 1, 7. All right, so this potentially is my solution, okay? But we need to check. Okay, so you don't check just to see that you worked it right. You check to see if this is valid. So you need to check back in the original equation or one of the equations that still has a radical in it, okay? So let's plug it into there. Okay, so we have 5 times 17 minus 4 minus 9, and hopefully we're going to get 0. So we have 85 minus 4 minus 9, square root of 81 minus 9, which is 9 minus 9, and it's 0. So that's what we should have gotten. So it checks out all right. So this truly is the solution. All right.